Hello, belligerents. Thank you for your click. Welcome to another episode of Tips and Tricks. This is episode 2 of our Tips and Tricks series for DIY car enthusiasts and novice car enthusiasts. This is a show made in the name of making your life easier. Speaking of making your life easier, that's what today's first tip is all about. Some of you know what this is, some of you don't, I'm sure. This is the NASCAR thing. This is that thingy. It's an impact wrench. It's a half-inch drive impact wrench, and it is one of the best $200 I've ever spent. Once you get into cars a bit more, once you know this is the thing you want to do, you need to buy one. You don't have to buy mine. Mine is a Milwaukee half-inch drive high-torque impact wrench. I love it. I bought it when it was obsolete. It was a generation old when I bought it. I picked it up for $200. Came with a case, a battery, a charger, and the actual tool itself. Not a bad deal at all for Milwaukee stuff. Milwaukee is top of the line when it comes to electric stuff. So is DeWalt. They make pretty much the best stuff. Some people may argue, oh, Makita, but Milwaukee and DeWalt are where it's at for electric stuff. Now, you don't have to spend $200 or even more on an impact wrench. You could spend more realistically like $70 or $80 on a plug-in one. It's not going to have the same power as this guy right here, but it will have a pretty significant amount of twisting power, and it'll be able to get the job done. And these things, they save time. They do hard stuff that would require like a pipe and a breaker bar. They're awesome. You need to have one if you're working on cars. They are just simply great tools to have. Speaking of great tools to have, piece of advice, tip and trick number 2 for today's episode is all about one of the most indispensable tools you can have when it comes to working on cars. Now, this is a torque wrench. Torque is twisting force. It's the amount of twist on something. That's the best way for me to explain it quickly. And when you're working on cars, there are some things, some people would argue most things, that need a proper amount of twisting force. Too much and you break the bolt, too little, you risk it coming loose. Sometimes when you do it too tight, it's something that gets hot, you might end up with your thing seized on there, and then it's really hard to get off. So, knowing the amount of torque that needs to be put on a fastener, and then being able to apply that is indispensable. You just need it. You need to have this. This one isn't even mine. I don't own one right now. I lost mine. It's a long story. So I had to borrow this one because I'm putting a head on one of my Integras. And, basically it's very simple. Use is very simple. I probably shouldn't have put it up that quickly. But you twist this thing to the desired amount. This little dialy boy here. And then it ratchets. And you just twist it until it clicks. Keep tightening until it clicks, and when it clicks, you've got the right amount of torque on your thing, and you're good to go. That is an indispensable tool. You need to have one. Speaking of indispensable, clothing. You need that. You can't run around naked everywhere, especially with working on cars. But working on cars will destroy your clothing. Absolutely destroy it. I mean, irredeemably ruin your favorite shirt. So, when you're working on cars, don't wear anything remotely expensive, anything you may care about at all. Have some special clothes for it. I call my working on cars clothes my fodder clothes, because they just become fodder. They get ruined so quickly, because you're going to get dirty when you're working on a car. So you really, really want some clothing that you just don't care about in any way, shape, or form. You just want some good fodder clothing. Back when Tuner Colt shirts were like $8 a pop, I like those. I still have all the Tuner Colt shirts I bought for $8 a pop, and most of them are still good to go. Those are great. They're like $25 a piece now, and that's what they probably should have cost at their outset. They're really good shirts, but it's not worth working on a car in a Tuner Colt shirt anymore. You're gonna ruin it. They're trying to be 80/80 now with the whole car giveaway with that NSX with the fucking AutoZone hood scoops. Ew. Makes me not want to buy your shirts at all. But yeah, get some clothes you don't care about. Get some clothes that are tough. Go to Walmart, Goodwill, doesn't matter. Get some clothes you don't care about for working on cars is what you need. This next tip and trick is more of a practicality kind of thing. This is a 1/2-inch drive to 3/8 adapter. This is a hyper tough one. I kill these things all the time. Sometimes with my impact, sometimes with the breaker bar, sometimes they just break when I'm using them. They're really kind of terrible. But I need them. They're very useful for a lot of the things I do, and they save me a lot of time. I just tend to put them in positions where they're going to get absolutely wrecked. So, if you come across yourself destroying a certain tool all the time, maybe make special considerations for it. Either get lots of cheap ones, or get one that has a lifetime warranty on it, because if it's something that you need and is very useful to you, but you tend to break them a lot, you need to have a way to get another one very quickly to save yourself time. So you should have one with a lifetime warranty or a whole bunch of cheap ones laying around. I like to end these videos on philosophical notes. That's what I've come to discover about myself, and just how I like to do things on this channel, especially with this series. And today's is one that is more important when you're first starting out. You get better at this and you have less of a need for this kind of skill once you develop your confidence and competence a little bit when it comes to working on cars. And that thing is knowing when something is out of your hands. A 15-minute job can become a 15-hour job in the span of a second when you snap a bolt or strip something, or just something goes south. There are lots of horrible contingencies for any job when it comes to working on a car. And in these situations you may find yourself in, you need to know when to give it up and take it to a professional who knows what they're doing. Because if something's out of your hands and you try to fix it, you might make things a lot worse. So you need to understand when something is out of your hands. You need to be able to assess the situation and say, I probably can't do that. I'm probably not equipped to get this done. Then take it to someone who understands. Or go do what you need to do, buy what you need to buy, watch whatever YouTube video you need to watch to make you capable of doing it. But generally, when something big is messed up and you're just a beginner, it's better to take it to someone who knows and can explain to you what's wrong, because maybe there's something you don't understand. It's better to take it to a professional when something goes bad. Trust me, I've seen it a million times, and luckily I rarely find myself in a position where I don't understand that I need to take something to a professional. But you should take something to a professional if it's out of your hands. Simple as that. Know it, get good at identifying that situation so you don't mess your stuff up and cause yourself a bunch of money. Anyways, that concludes another episode of the Belligerence in Motion Show tips and tricks. Got more stuff coming for you, more driver profiles, some comments on the culture itself. I'm very excited for this channel, and hopefully a better camera eventually too, because the one I'm filming on is trash. It's about as good as the ratchet I threw in the trash on the last episode. Anyways, have a good time, enjoy yourself, build some cool cars, go to some car meets when the weather's not absolutely horrendous outside. Be nice, have fun.